Sawadee-ka! Welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. Today I'm taking a little break from cooking to talk about an ingredient that I use all the time in my recipes, and it's a pantry staple in Thai cuisine, and that is tamarind. Now I get a lot of questions about tamarind, so hopefully this video will help answer them all. So I'm going to cover what tamarind is, how to buy it, how to use it, and how to store it. So let's get started. All right, first, what is tamarind? So tamarind is actually a fruit, okay? And a lot of people, even people who cook with tamarind all the time, have never actually seen the fruit, because unless you live in Thailand or one of those countries where tamarind is indigenous, it's very hard to find fresh tamarind pod. So I finally found it the other day, which is the reason why I'm doing this video. And this is what it looks like. The shell is hard, and the way you open it is you just break it apart and you pray that the inside is good. And you pull it out, and inside, I know it's not the most appetizing looking thing, but this is what it looks like, and there are all these veins that makes it look a little bit like an alien. There we go. Now, this is actually not the kind of tamarind that we cook with, because this one is sweet, and the one that we cook with looks exactly like this, except it's sour. So if you ever come across sweet tamarind and you want to eat it, I'll show you. You want to remove the veins, and then you just sort of suck the flesh off of the seeds, because there are hard seeds inside. And just, and that's it. A seed comes out. I apologize for spitting on camera. But there you go. That is tamarind. Super delicious. The flesh is sticky, kind of like dates. Very similar to dates. It's not as mushy as dates. Sweetness will vary. This one is very sweet with just a tiny hint of sour. And it ranges from this to very, very sour. And the one that's very sour is the one that we cook with. So let's take a look at that. When it comes to cooking with tamarind, this is the product that you see me use all the time. And I don't show you the package often enough, but this is what it looks like. And by the way, in my recipes, I always call this tamarind juice. And this is basically the flesh of the tamarind, so the brown flesh that you saw me eat, diluted with water so that it's now spoonable and easily mixed into your cooking. The label will usually call it tamarind concentrate or tamarind paste, which drives me crazy because it is neither a paste, like this does not qualify as a paste for me, nor a concentrate, because clearly they mix this with water. So I don't know, but anyway, that's the way it is. This one is called tamarind paste concentrate, which makes even less sense. Sometimes it comes in a glass jar like this. This one's called tamarind paste. They are both the same. However, beware of products that are called tamarind sauce. If it's a tamarind sauce, check the ingredients, because sometimes it's like a ready mix sauce for another dish. The ingredients should only say tamarind and water and maybe a preservative. Another question that I get a lot is, what brand should you go with? In my experience, it doesn't matter. I haven't used yet a bad brand. Now, brands will vary in acidity, how sour the tamarind is, but even within the same brand, different batches is not gonna have the same level of acidity. So to me, it's just, get whatever you have. Having said that, if I get a choice, I always choose ones that are from Thailand, because I know that if Thai people make it, they're making it for the purpose that I need it. Products of Vietnam work just as well, that I found. Products of India, however, is an entirely different ingredient. Okay, you see sometimes tamarind concentrate, but it's a product of India, and then the container will look a little different. That is a true concentrate. It's very thick, very sticky, very sour, and it's almost black. And you can't use that in the same way that I use in my recipes. I haven't tested it myself because I can't find it in my local stores, but other people have told me that if you dilute it with water, you can use it as a substitute for this. However, I haven't personally tested it. So if you've tried it, let me know if you've had success with it. All right? So if you can't find the liquid, which is what my recipes always call for, there's also this. And this is, it'll say tamarind, just tamarind. Just tamarind, no other description. This is tamarind pulp. So it's the brown thing that I was eating earlier, and they've just compacted it into this block. There are no seeds in here. It'll say without seeds, but the membrane around the seeds are in here, so you'll need to strain it out. So what you do with this is you just take out a bunch and then you just put it in a bowl. So you just break it up a little bit. And this is completely edible, by the way, so you could taste it. In fact, that is very sour. It's still tasty, but holy mother. Okay, now I'm gonna put some hot water and just pour just until it's submerged. And I'm just gonna let it sit that way until the flesh will sort of loosen up, and then we can really squeeze it out. Now, I should tell you that this form of tamarind is actually the form that most Thai people use in Thailand. This liquid stuff is like high-tech stuff that is new in the grocery store. Most people in Thailand, even today, are making tamarind juice from the flesh. That's what I grew up using. I only started using this when I came to Canada. It's convenient though, I'm kind of spoiled now. So it's been about 15 minutes and the water's now cool enough to handle, and the flesh is also loosened up a bit. So now I'm going to basically juice it. And this is why I call it tamarind juice, even though it's not technically juice, but you know, it's what Thai people call it. And just try to get all the flesh off of the membrane and the fibers that are in here. Oh, I think I found a seed. Lies! They said no seeds. The question I always get about this is, well, how much water do you need to add? And there is no correct amount. I mean, most people just randomly add enough water to cover it. But I would warn you against adding too much water, because if this is really liquidy, every time you go to use tamarind, you have to add a lot of extra water to your recipe as well. So now this is very thick. It's fine, but I'm actually gonna dilute it a little bit more because this will be difficult to strain, and just thin it out a little bit. And when you home make tamarind, I find it's always a little more runny than the commercially made one. I could spend a little more time getting every last bit of flesh, but I'll just show you what to do from this point on. You're gonna strain it, and yes, ideally your sieve would be a little bigger than this. So I have to say that this is a little thicker than most home cooks will make it, because it's quite a bit of work to strain this out. But what I'm trying to do here is to get it as close as possible to the stuff that you can buy in the jar, because you know, that's my recipes are based on that, so I wanted to show you how you can make sort of a similar thing at home. So now that you've got your tamarind, how to store it. Now this product is shelf stable, but as soon as you open it, you have to put it in the fridge, and it'll last at least 1 month. I have yet to have one of these go bad on me because it's acidic, right? So it lasts quite a while. The stuff that you make yourself though, this won't last as long because you know, your hands get in there and you know, get very intimate with it. If you want, you can cook it and it'll last longer because you've killed the bacteria that you've introduced from your hands. If you're not sure how long, you know, when you're going to use it, you can always put it in the freezer. And if you're going to freeze them, I recommend freezing them in small portions, like little ice cubes, so that it's easier for you to just take a little bit to use. This stuff, the tamarind pulp, when you buy it, it'll be sold outside, so don't look for this in the fridge, okay? And you can keep it in your cupboard for 2 years according to the expiration date on here. Once you open it though, I would put it in the fridge, okay? And that'll last a very long time. Again, I've yet to see one of these go bad on me because it's very sour. Finally, how to use tamarind. Tamarind can be used in absolutely any kind of dish. Soup, salad, curry, stir fries, dip, we use it in everything. Now, as many of you know, Thai food is all about balancing sweet, salty, and sour. So tamarind is one of our main sour ingredients, the other one being lime. However, unlike lime, tamarind can be cooked for a long time and the flavor won't deteriorate. And it's also not as sharp as lime, okay? It's always got a note of sweetness to it. The acidity is more gentle. So a lot of times we use it in combination with lime in order to sort of have a bit of a balance of sharp and rounded acidity. So it's a really interesting ingredient. If you've ever used it in outside of Thai cuisine, if your cuisine uses tamarind in a different way, please let me know. I'd love to know what you guys use it for. So I hope you learned something new and interesting today, and I hope that if you had questions about tamarind, they have been answered. If not, if I missed anything, send me your questions on Facebook or through the contact form on my website or Twitter, and I'll be happy to answer them, and I will see you next time for your next delicious time.